Hello YouTube and my subscribers, thank you very much for tuning in to my dumb things I hear on my walk thingamajigger. So I'm gonna scoot the camera thingy back so that you can see more of me. How do you like that, YouTube? Huh? Huh? Well, thanks again for tuning in to my dumb things I hear on my walk thingamajigger. So today I went on my walk and I walked into a local electronics store because I've been looking for a better video camera so I don't have to use my little webcammy thingy in my computer all the time. And in front of me, or I was going to ask about the prices of these webcams and if they had any like Black Friday deals or something coming up. So as I was waiting in line to ask, there was a woman in front of me who had come back in and she had a still unopened box of like a pretty popular antivirus program, and her conversation with the employee went something like this. I have it written down here so that I can read it, like right on this side. So if it looks like I'm reading something here, I am. So their conversation went a little something like, "Oh, thank you for coming back in. How can I help you?" And the customer said, "I just bought this antivirus program here like 2 days ago, and it wasn't working." And the employee said, "Well, what about it wasn't working? Did you install the program?" And the customer said, "No, it wasn't interfacing with my system." Not, and the employee said, "Not interfacing. I'm not sure I understand your problem. Could you explain it to me?" And the customer said, "Well, I set the box next to my computer and it didn't do anything. It just sat there. This piece of software you sold me is defective." And the employee said, "Ma'am, I can see that you didn't open the box. In order for that program to work, in order for that software to be effective, you need to open the box, insert the DVD or CD into your computer, and install the program in order for it to run. Once you do that, it'll work just fine." And the ma'am said, "Well, how do I do that?" And the employee continued to try and convince her that it was pretty easy. All you had to do was open the box, insert the CD into the CD disc tray, and then a window will pop up and you hit the install button. And she said, "Well, I'm going to go home and I'm going to try that, and then I'm going to call you, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to get you fired." So I asked, or the man left, and I asked my questions about the camera, and the employee was very helpful, actually helped me figure out which camera I want to buy. So if anybody wants to know, say so in the comments, otherwise I'm not going to tell you. But I ended up staying for about 45 minutes to an hour because I was pretty interested in this stuff, and this particular employee apparently knew a lot about it. Apparently they're good with cameras and things. And eventually the woman called, or he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, the phone's ringing, I'll be right with you." And he went to go answer the phones, and when he got back to me, he said, "Oh," she called back, and I'm like, "Oh, that woman who was in here before." And he's like, "Yeah, she's gonna try and get me fired now." I handed her over to my manager. I gave her phone call to my manager so she can get me fired, and I'm like, "Oh, that sucks." And he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. My manager heard the whole conversation," and I'm like, "Yeah, that woman not smart. She's stupid." So that was what I heard on my walk today. So if any of you have dumb stories, please tell me in the comments. I already have one fan-submitted story. Once I get 2 or 3, I'm going to do a fans' dumb things I hear on my walk video. So please tell me about your dumb stories in the comments. Have a good one.